When Aryna Sabalenka answered the phone in her hotel room, she anticipated hearing about her own campaign in Stuttgart. Rather, the world number one sat up in her chair when she heard something. It was about how Germany welcomed a 20-year-old Filipina who had never won a Grand Slam, not about a victory or a ranking. The Porsche Arena in Stuttgart was hosting a celebration of Filipino pride rather than just a tennis event. A peaceful German tournament was transformed into a spectacle unlike anything Sabalenka has ever seen when 55,000 people flocked to the city, waving flags and screaming Laban, Alex. The player, who was ranked number 45 in the world and had never made it into the top 20, was attracting crowds that the world number one could only imagine. A few weeks prior, he had been destroyed by Coco Gauff in Dubai, and Sabalenka was stunned by what she witnessed. The Queen of Tennis was astounded by the arrival of the Eala effect in Stuttgart. For almost 50 years, the Porsche Tennis Grand Prix has been a regular event on the WTA schedule. Some of the top stars in tennis history have played there: Steffi Graf, Martina Navratilova, Maria Sharapova, Serena Williams. But nothing at all could have prepared the tournament organizers for what hit their city when Alex Eala's name appeared on the entry list. Days before the tournament was supposed to start, an estimated 55,000 Filipino fans traveled to Stuttgart from Munich, Berlin, and other parts of Germany, where over 100,000 Filipinos reside and work. They traveled from anywhere a direct flight might take them, including Switzerland, Italy, and the United Kingdom. Outside the Porsche Arena, there were unheard-of scenes. With their Philippine flags fastened to lampposts, fans set up camp for the night, hoping to keep the city awake. The crowd rushed forward as soon as the gates opened. The arena can hold just over 5,000 people. The number of people outdoors increased to over 11 times that amount. From Melbourne to Dubai to Miami to Linz, the 20-year-old Filipina had been followed by the Eala effect. The phenomena of crowded stadiums, overloaded ticket systems, and unparalleled fan loyalty. However, it reached an unpredictable level in Stuttgart. One seasoned referee noted earlier this season that the arena feels like a Davis Cup site when players are from nations like the Philippines. Not just for a single player, but for their nation. That was undoubtedly the case in Stuttgart. Not only were the Filipino fans from all over Europe supporting Eala, but they were also supporting the Philippines. They were honoring their heritage by performing songs and waving flags. And the tennis community was paying attention. Isla's autograph was marked the most wanted at the Porsche Village fan engagement zone even before she took the court. Fans waited in queue for hours, and some of them gave her an Olympic medal to sign. A unique and profound gesture. The Stuttgart Open statistics are astounding. Industry reports claim that Eala's first-round match versus Leylah Fernandez had an average ticket price that was 400% more than the tournament norm. In the hours after Eala's main draw announcement, the official ticket website collapsed several times. The stats that really stunned Sabalenka were those that contrasted Eala's drawing power with her own, even though the tournament sold out in record time. Eala's pre-tournament press conference at the Australian Open in January had 196,000 views, more than 6 times that of Carlos Alcaraz and almost 20 times that of Sabalenka. Cues from her first-round encounter on Court 6 spread across Melbourne Park, requiring security to turn away hundreds of spectators. Eala's presence was directly responsible for the 48% year-over-year increase in ticket sales in Dubai. The stadium was sold out for every match she played, and tournament director Sheila Talik acknowledged that she drew a new audience to tennis. Tickets were in high demand, however. They were all sold out. It's unlike anything we've ever seen. Eala's jerseys made up 57% of the total items sold at the Miami Open, more than all the other players on the pitch put together. On the day that sales began, the ticket system collapsed. Former pros have taken note due to the overwhelming demand from Filipino fans. A year ago, Sam Quarry's question on the Nothing Major podcast would have seemed unimaginable. Is she currently the most attractive player in women's tennis? Is she larger than Sabalenka? Is she larger than Coco? Steve Johnson gave a direct response. Yes, it's insane, dude. It's crazy how many people she's currently drawing from all around the world. John Eisner emphasized the business aspect, describing the Philippines as a sizable market that many tennis players had overlooked and emphasizing that fans now have a star in the women's division of the sport. Aryna Sabalenka's response to learning of the Stuttgart welcome was caught on camera and swiftly went viral. With 4 Grand Slams under his belt and 2 years at the top of the rankings, the world number one is accustomed to being the center of attention. Cameras follow her everywhere. Autographs are demanded by fans. The stadium is buzzing with her presence. The buzz, however, was not for her in Stuttgart. The stands were adorned with Philippine flags. The question chants of Laban Alex reverberated around the arena. With their voices raised in joy, thousands of Filipino fans crowded the Porsche Arena. They were there for Alex Eala, a 20-year-old Filipina rated 45th in the world who has never won a Grand Slam, not for Sabalenka. Sabalenka's response when questioned about the phenomena was recorded on camera. The world number one, who had witnessed everything throughout her career, appeared truly taken back. She allegedly told one of her teammates, "I've never seen anything like this. She has amazing support. It's unlike anything I've ever encountered." The bizarre reality of the Eala effect is depicted in a single picture as Sabalenka watches Eala's practice session, the world champion witnessing the crowd's favorite. Within hours, Sabalenka's response was circulated on social media, and fans analyzed each picture to look for hints about her thoughts. Some acknowledged the pressure the world number one must be under and expressed sympathy for her. For others, it served as a reminder that even supporters can be taken aback by a movement's strength. Eala has already faced Sabalenka, but not in a contest that is competitive. Sabalenka has seen firsthand the talent that has made the Filipina a rising star during their regular practice sessions at the Rafa Nadal Academy. However, witnessing the Eala effect firsthand, the crowded stadiums, the thunderous cheers, and the conversion of a competition into a celebration of Filipino pride was quite different. You must comprehend the phenomena known as the Eala effect in order to comprehend why Germany welcomed Alex Eala like never before. The Philippine Women's Open, the nation's inaugural WTA event, was made possible by Eala's popularity, according to Philippine Sports Commission Chairman Patrick Gregorio. Former Resto PH President Eric Ting said that anywhere sport attracts large numbers, there would be hungry individuals and a chance to present Filipino food. However, the Eala effect is about representation rather than just economics. At the age of 12, Eala left the Philippines to train at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca for the opportunity to pursue a dream. She gave up her youth, her comfort, and her closeness to family. In just 1 year, she rose from number 140 to number 29. In a single tournament, she triumphed over 3 Grand Slam winners. She made history by being the first Filipina to rank in the top 50, top 40, and top 30. She never lost sight of her origins along the way. At Wimbledon, she had the sampaguita in her hair. In her post-match interviews, she used Tagalog. She expressed her gratitude to her supporters in the Philippines, Dubai, Los Angeles, and London, among other places. That relationship was evident in Stuttgart. In addition to supporting Eala, the fans joined her in celebrating. They transformed the Porsche Arena into a home away from home by waving flags and singing songs. Being outspoken and proud is crucial, particularly when it comes to cultures. During the competition, Eala told the WTA website, "Very few nationalities are as loud and proud as us Filipinos. There are so many of us that I believe it should be honored that someone is representing the Philippines on the international scene." Aryna Sabalenka, the tennis queen, is stunned by the Eala effect, which has now spread to the top levels of the sport. Eala's Stuttgart Open campaign ended earlier than she had anticipated, despite the great support. Leylah Fernandez, a fellow left-handed Filipina, the world number 25, and a past U.S. Open finalist, was her opponent in the opening round. The game was instructive. On that particular day, Fernandez's greater ranking and experience proved to be too much. 6-1, 6-4 was the final result. Despite being knocked out in the first round, Eala's accomplishments remained intact. 55,000 people had come to Stuttgart to see her. She had transformed a German city into a Filipino pride event. She had demonstrated to the globe that ranking points are not the only way to gauge her importance to the sport. Eala thought back on her time in Stuttgart following the game. "When I need to be focused, I have a high level of professionalism," she remarked. "I feel like I can handle these things really well, even though it's my first year on tour. I am aware that everything else won't happen if I don't put in the effort, since everything happens when you put in the effort." After early exits in Miami and Linz, Eala's loss against Fernandez was her third straight first-round elimination. However, her admirers' devotion remained unwavering. They stayed even after the game. Waving their flags and screaming her name, they reassured her that they would always be there for her. Sabalenka, on the other hand, saw the game from the player's box. She witnessed Eala's struggle, her tenacity, and her reluctance to give up even as the match was coming to an end. And she witnessed the audience, the same group that had embraced Eala like never before, supporting her all the way to the finish. The clay season continues before Eala Madrid, Rome, and Roland Garros. The Czech curse is still unbroken. Her record against Czech players is 0-13, but she has something that no ranking can match, the love of a nation that will follow her everywhere. After what she went through in Stuttgart, it is evident that Alex Eala is more than just a tennis player. She is a movement, and the tennis queen, Aryna Sabalenka, is stunned. Alex Eala was greeted by Germany as never before, and Aryna Sabalenka watched in shock. For the Porsche Tennis Grand Prix, an estimated 55,000 Filipino spectators flocked to Stuttgart, transforming the city into a Filipino pride celebration. A sea of Philippine flags stretched several blocks around the Porsche Arena, which can accommodate just over 5,000 fans. It was an unprecedented greeting. At the Porsche Village fan event, Eala's autograph was marked. The most wanted Olympic medals were given to her by admirers too. Sign. The streets resounded with Laban Alex's chants. The four-time Grand Slam champion and world number one Sabalenka was stunned. It was unlike anything she had ever seen. She allegedly remarked, "I've never seen anything like this. She has amazing support. It's unlike anything I've ever encountered." The phenomenon known as the Eala effect, which is characterized by crowded stadiums, jam-packed ticket booths, and unparalleled fan loyalty, has reached new heights. When she was in the draw, ticket sales in Dubai increased by 48%. Hours before her game, clues were all over the stadium in Melbourne. The tennis world has never experienced a welcome like the one in Stuttgart. Eala lost to Leylah Fernandez in the opening round of the Stuttgart tournament. However, the loss did not lessen her accomplishments. She had demonstrated to the globe that ranking points alone are insufficient to determine her worth. She has the entire clay season ahead of her, including Roland Garros, Madrid, and Rome. The love of a country that will follow her wherever she goes is something that no ranking can quantify, even though the Czech curse is still